In the year 202X, the city of Seoul gleams under the night sky. Inside one of those towering buildings, the sound of faint city noise seeps through as a TV flickers in the dimly lit room. A breaking news report appears on screen, the shareholders meeting to decide the next chairman of the Samjun Group, one of Korea's top 3 conglomerates, has finally ended. After 13 long hours of discussion, the verdict is in. The fate of one of Korea's most powerful companies has just been decided tonight. After an intense 13-hour meeting, the decision is finally made. The next chairman of Samjun Group has been chosen. The name announced across the nation is Director Jeon Seong-guk, a man known for his composure and strength. Unlike other third-generation heirs who fall from power due to scandals or poor leadership, Jeon Seong-guk stands out as a capable and disciplined successor. With a confident smirk, he quietly celebrates his victory. Moments later, his laughter echoes through the room as he revels in triumph, proudly declaring for the world to keep praising his success. Jeon Seong-guk proudly declares himself as the new king of Samjun Group, standing tall as the perfect example of success and control. From studying abroad to rigorous training and managing his foolish siblings, he's handled every responsibility without fail. He even cleaned up after his uncle's scandals and managed his arranged marriage with precision. Convinced that he's done everything flawlessly, with a polished public image and media admiration, Jeon Seong-guk ranks as the most likable keyball heir of his generation, simply perfect in every way. Jeon Seong-guk admires himself with a satisfied grin, calling everything perfect. To him, it's only natural that he becomes the rightful owner of Samjun Group. He looks at his phone, declaring this as a new beginning, a fresh start under his leadership. With a mischievous smirk, he plans to remove all of Jeon T-guk's loyal subordinates, determined to erase the old order completely. But just as he plots his next move, a sudden noise interrupts him. Shock flashes across his face. Suddenly, Jeon Seong-guk clutches his chest in shock, struggling to breathe as pain surges through his heart. He collapses to the ground, gasping for air, his body trembling as blood drips onto the floor. His eyes widen in disbelief. This can't be happening. It's his grandfather, the founder of Samjun Group, who also died of a heart attack just like this. Gasping and trembling, Jeon Seong-guk refuses to accept his fate. He shouts that he won't die from something as trivial as a heart attack. Darkness consumes his vision as his body collapses, and faint cries echo somewhere far away. Moments later, he hears a gentle voice calling to a baby. Realizing something feels different, something unfamiliar. Opening his eyes, he sees a cheerful couple holding an infant. Confused and startled, he stares at his tiny hands, realizing he's been reborn. Jeon Seong-guk panics, screaming in disbelief as he tries to make sense of what's happening to him. His cries of a newborn echo through a modest home. A baby wiggles and coos adorably while his mother gushes over how cute her little Seong-guk is. Smiling warmly, the young mother, Kim So-young, proudly calls her baby handsome, unaware that inside him lies the soul of a reincarnated keyball heir. Seong-guk's father, Jeon Jae-seong, proudly agrees with his wife, saying their baby is even cuter than most celebrity children. The couple happily admires their newborn, joking about how lucky they are that he was born so handsome. Inside the baby's mind, Seong-guk fumes with irritation, unable to believe his situation, being praised like an infant. Kicking in frustration, he catches his parents' attention, as his father asks if something is bothering their adorable little boy. Tears well up in Seong-guk's eyes as he looks at his tiny hands. He remembers his old self, tall, fit, and powerful, with a perfect body built through years of discipline. Once the king of Samjun, blessed with wealth, status, and influence, he had everything anyone could ever want. Now trapped in a baby's body, he clenches his small fists in frustration, furious at how far he's fallen. Seong-guk's eyes widen in disbelief as he realizes the harsh truth: he's been reborn into a poor household. Once a wealthy man who drank expensive wine worth millions, he now lives with a young couple who started with nothing. As his new mother lovingly calls him for a meal, to his horror, a cheap baby formula bottle appears before him, marking the ultimate downfall of the once proud king of Samjun. Seong-guk stares at the milk bottle placed in front of him, trying to resist, but his tiny body acts on instinct. Unable to control himself, he drinks it eagerly, realizing that even his willpower can't overcome a baby's natural cravings. His parents smile proudly, calling him a good boy for drinking so well, completely unaware of his inner turmoil. When his mother kisses his forehead affectionately, he groans in embarrassment, thinking how awkward this feels, especially as a grown man inside a baby's body. Jeon Seong-guk recalls how everything changed, collapsing on what should have been the best day of his life, only to awaken as a crying baby. Among all the shocking events, What unsettles him the most isn't the reincarnation itself, but the two people who now call him their son. Their constant affection and gentle smiles feel overwhelming to him, too friendly, too sentimental, almost cringeworthy. Yet, as he watches them care for him so warmly, a strange emotion stirs within him, the unfamiliar, comforting feeling of truly having parents. Jeon Seong-guk reflects on his past life, realizing there were things he, despite all his success, never truly understood. He recalls his original parents' cold, distant figures who treated him more like an heir than a son. His mother would leave for work with detached words, expecting him to handle everything on his own. His father, stern and emotionless, ordered him to care for his siblings, reminding him that as the eldest, it was his duty, nothing more. Jeon Seong-guk remembers the words from his childhood to rely on his older brother, Tae-guk, if he ever needed anything. But Tae-guk's sinister grin still haunts him. Snapping back to the present, baby Seong-guk wakes up startled, heart pounding from the memory. His mother rushes over, worried and trying to calm him down, wondering why he's so restless after feeding. Frustrated yet drowsy, Seong-guk grumbles internally, trying to fight the sleep overtaking him only to drift off mid-thought. Unable to fight his exhaustion, baby Seong-guk finally drifts into a deep sleep, completely powerless against his infant body's needs. Even in his dreams, his adult mind grumbles in frustration, vowing revenge on this helpless state once he wakes up. His parents watch over him lovingly, smiling at how peaceful he looks as they quietly discuss dinner plans. When So Young offers to help, her husband insists she rest instead, showing the same warmth and care that Seong-guk never knew in his past life. While caring for the baby, So Young turns on the TV to unwind, telling her husband to relax and watch the news. The broadcast reports breaking news about a massive bribery scandal involving the Samjian group. The investigation has reached the chairman himself, Jeon Ju-shin, who shocked the public by appearing before prosecutors in person. Hearing the name Samjian, baby Seong-guk's eyes widen in disbelief. His former empire is now engulfed in scandal. As the news continues, baby Seong-guk suddenly sits upright, his eyes locked on the television screen. His mother gasps in surprise, unable to believe what she just saw. But Seong-guk isn't reacting to the movement, he's staring at the man on the screen, his mind racing in disbelief. The face on TV belongs to his grandfather, the very man who had died years ago, now alive and at the center of the Samjian scandal. The news reports on the Apple Box bribery case, catching the attention of Kim So-young and her family as they watch from their living room. Reporters swarm around Jeon Jae-seong, the chairman of Samjian Group, appearing in public after being accused of bribery. He stares at the TV in shock, his wide eyes fixed on the screen as if he recognizes the man. The broadcast reveals Seong-guk's father, the man tied to the scandal that will soon shake their entire family. Startled, Seong-guk leans closer to the TV while his mother, Kim So-young, watches in shock. Seong-guk's eyes widen as memories resurface. He recalls being 10 years old when his grandfather, Jeon Jae-seong, was exposed for bribing politicians with apple boxes filled with money, leading to a public trial. The media and rivals condemned Samjian Group, labeling it a corrupt company that thrived on bribery and deceit. Dark thoughts fill Seong-guk's mind. Power and corruption seem to dominate everything around him. He begins to understand how money controls people. He reflects on how naive it is to think that saving bit by bit can lead to wealth, realizing that such thinking only belongs to struggling families. Meanwhile, his parents cheer proudly as baby Seong-guk begins to crawl. Seong-guk recalls the day his grandfather faced prosecution. He, just 10 years old at the time, was the one who pushed his grandfather's wheelchair into the courthouse. The public believed the wheelchair boy was genuine, but in truth, it was carefully staged to gain sympathy from the media and people. For Seong-guk, that day wasn't about pity, it felt like his first step into the spotlight. Walking alongside his powerful family, standing proudly beside his grandfather and father, he realized the world now saw him as the next heir of the Jeon family legacy. Among the crowd, Jeon Tae-guk, another name that would soon become important in Seong-guk's story. Seong-guk frowns in irritation, calling his younger brother foolish and greedy. He recalls how his brother claimed to study abroad, but ended up wasting his life, getting involved with drugs and bad company. That same arrogant brother, who always envied Seong-guk's position, eventually became a disgrace to the family, leading to a violent confrontation between them. Now, as Seong-guk finds himself reborn as a baby, he realizes that returning to infancy isn't even the biggest problem he faces. Seong-guk suddenly realizes that he's been sent back to the past, shocking his parents as they call out to him in confusion. Panic fills his mind as he cries out, realizing that his fate, status, and everything he once had are now at risk of being taken from him.